Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? I am doing good. I'm at work. I'm doing a little lunch crafting, so I can call this week's lunch and craft and chat video. But last week I had done a little lunch and craft and chat video, and I worked on cutting out papers like this. So I did some more. I've got some more of those to cut out. These are all, let's see, I think these are all coffee dyed. There's a little bit of avocado dye on this one that flowed over from my avocado dye into my coffee dyeing, but I think that looks pretty. And so I'm going to be cutting those out this week. Last week what I got done was I had showed you these tags. I have a bag of tags here. There's a lot in here, a lot of little pieces in there, little tags and all size tags. But what I had to do last week was punch the holes, so I got all the holes punched, and now I'm going to put little strings on them. So I brought my scrap string to use up, and I brought this baker's twine. And let's see, I've got all my other tools here as far as a scissors, a paper cutter, a hole punch. I've got the basic Ritz crackers for snacking and a Mountain Dew diet, of course. So I wanted to show you one thing that I was working on at home last week that came out really cute in the idea of still trying to keep up with my crafts, and that is these envelopes right here. I had accumulated a few, not accumulated, but as I made scraps, I had a couple of envelopes nearby, like junk mail envelopes, and I think I showed one of these possibly in one of my previous videos, but I did some more, so I wanted to show you how cute they came out. Like here's one. This is scraps from a digital kit. Aren't they pretty? That I had printed out. Very pretty, right? Okay, so that's one. This is just book page scraps from a Reader's Digest. I think I showed this one last week. This one looks like the one I showed, but I don't know if I had finished it, so that's the finished envelope. As far as finished at the moment, I did put a little button right here, but I want to put some flowers or something on there. Here's another one with book page scraps. I just like the way the text is going in different directions. Here's the flap on this one. Let's see how the text is going in different directions. I think that looks cool. This side too, I like that. And then here's another book page. And there's I had a couple of scrap napkin pieces, so I put those on here. Here's the back with the flap. I like the different colors too. This was a picture on one of the Reader's Digest pages that I didn't necessarily like. So I just, tore it up. Here's another book page. I just think they're so pretty, even though they're just plain text. A flap on this one. And one more. And they're so solid feeling, makes it so much, it's twice as, each layer of the envelope is twice as thick. So the whole thing is, twice as thick as it was when it started out before you glued any pieces of paper on it. So that's the flap on that one. I like the different shades too of the different book pages, and those are just, these are all naturally aged, so they're naturally shaded. I didn't do any distressing on these yet, so that's what I worked on. So I worked on those at home and worked on so what do you want to see? I worked on the rest of the stuff at the office at my lunch break. So maybe I'll cut out a couple of these tags because these are really cute. I want to see how they look cut out. They are tags. This was in the stack of things that my son gave me from when I did that video on the stack of papers from the crawl space. So when I'm at home, I'm going to have to show you what he brought me. I'll tell you about it now, but he brought me something else from a couple other things from Crawl Spaces that he had to go into. One was a newspaper that this one was clean. He brought me a dirty newspaper, but this one was clean. See, the dirty one was from under a vapor barrier. The clean one was on top of a vapor barrier. And so this one that he brought me this past weekend was from 1985, and it was a little smaller newspaper. Here's this tag, isn't it cute? And see the diagrams on there? This is what he brought me in that pack of papers, one of these tags, and I copied it. I think it's so cool. I'm gonna probably put it on, I probably should put it on cardstock before I cut it out. Something on my camera. But yeah, so that's a little tag. But I definitely want to put that on cardstock. That'll be cool. So he brought me a newspaper from 1985, which I can totally use because it is clean, and you know, I told him I really liked it because it was from 1985, and also because it was clean. You know, the other one I had, if I was going to use it, I would have to brush the dirt off, which is fine. You know, I'm willing to do that, maybe. But then I came home Monday night, and he had something sitting in the living room from a crawl space, and it was this. I'll show you when I get home tonight on my next video that I do from home. But the problem is it's big, and I can't fit it in the camera frame. But it's a big piece of metal that you hang on the wall, and it's very pretty, and lots of like filigree and details on it. Very kind of industrial metal type thing, but very pretty and dainty at the same time, because it has a lot of filigree type decoration on it. But it's this big wall piece that you hang on a wall, and somebody just was getting rid of it. They didn't want it. They were selling their house, and they, I guess, said he could have it, so he brought it home. And for me, I mean, he could have kept it, you know, because it's really cool. But he brought it home and gave it to me. When I walked in and saw it, I was like, what is that? That is awesome. That is awesome. And everybody was like, do you like that? I'm like, yes, I like it. It's awesome. But it's like a diamond. It's like a stretched out diamond shape. If you can picture a stretched out lengthwise diamond, and it's this big metal piece, but it's delicate and dainty at the same time because of the filigree. But it's this very distressed looking metal, and it's so cool. And you know, he got it for free, and it was originally from, it looks really old, but it was from Garden Ridge. And if you don't have a Garden Ridge in your area, Garden Ridge was, I think it's closed here now in our area, but it was a place like one of those big pottery places, and they had all like different pieces of furniture, like chairs and tables and pottery, and you know, dishes, and you know, wall decor. And it's a big store. Like, I'm trying to think, in Florida there was one called something like Pottery Warehouse or something when I lived in Florida. And when I got here, there was Garden Ridge in North Carolina, the same type of thing, like the Pottery Warehouse, but it was called Garden Ridge. Anyway, that metal piece had a Garden Ridge sticker on the back, and it was the sticker said $50, and I was like, $50? I mean, Garden Ridge was kind of known for its good prices, and I thought that piece was really beautiful, but I didn't think it was worth $50, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, thank goodness I didn't have to, you know, I got it for free. So now I have to figure out where I'm going to put it, because it's a good sized piece, but it's definitely worth finding a space for because it's beautiful. I mean, I've never, I have a big metal clock, you know. In fact, it was a 3 clock set that is metal, kind of old looking distressed metal. and it's a 3 o'clock set that I have. I used to have it together. They're separate pieces, but it's 3 o'clocks, and they came together, and I used to have them together on the wall, and then I kind of moved things around and I separated them. So even though they're a set, I spaced them around in different places. They're in the same room, but they're on different walls. Just wanted to mix it up, you know. So, you know, I have other metal in my house, but that should be fun to find a spot for that. Anyway, so I hope everyone's doing well and having a good week. I am having a good week. I had to go to the dentist yesterday morning. You know, nobody likes to go to the dentist really. And it was a crown issue. I was having a crown issue. And it was apparently something I had to go to see. Well, I had to go get a, long story short, I had to end up going to get a root canal yesterday. And I'd never had a root canal before, so I was a bit, you know, a little worried about that, but I knew I could handle it. I just, you know, was hoping I would never have to have a root canal. But here I am today. I survived. As you can see, here, I can talk. No, it wasn't bad though. If you're in my area, you need to go get a root canal, I'd highly recommend the dentist I went to, or the endodontist that I went to. I had no pain at all. Not one piece of pain, except for where they took an x-ray and that little x-ray thing stabbed me in the mouth, you know, because I have a small mouth. Believe it or not. I don't think I talk that loud or much, but yeah, I have a small mouth, so when they do those x-rays, the little pieces stick me somewhere, usually in the roof of my mouth. So that was the most uncomfortable thing I had to go through yesterday, was just that piece on that x-ray poking me in the roof of my mouth. And then the other uncomfortable thing, you know, when you have to get numbed. It wasn't bad, it just, you know, a little prick. Probably I'm talking about it and you guys are going, stop talking about that. So that's all I'll say. It wasn't bad at all. I was very happy with my doctor, and I told him, you know, afterward, wow, that wasn't so bad. And so I don't know if doctors like to hear that or not, but I was like, that wasn't so bad. And that was my first root canal. And when I was getting ready, when I was sitting in the chair before he started, I was like trying to put myself in some other dimension so that I wouldn't have to think about it. So actually, while he was doing his thing, I didn't want to hear about it. I just wanted to be like, just do what you have to do and get it over with. I don't want to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I do not want to know. But there was a bird feeder outside the window, so I got to look at the birds. 3 birds came up. For a minute while he was getting ready to start, I could look at the birds, and then he tipped me back. Couldn't see my bird feeder anymore. But then I started thinking about, I just told myself to think about other things, maybe take my mind off the doctor in my mouth doing whatever he was doing. So I thought about, I just thought about what I was going to do when I got home as far as crafting. I thought, okay, tonight I want to work on this, I want to work on that, and, you know, thinking about how, you know, I'm going to do my next journal that I'm working on now. And so I just started thinking about that, and before I knew it, it was over. He was done. So, you know, kind of just took, you know, closed my eyes and thought about my projects and my plans for them. So, you know, if you ever have to do that, just put yourself in another zone, crafting zone, and before you know it, it'll be over. So, and update on my mom, if you watched those videos where I was in Florida helping out with my mom after her knee replacement surgery, helping my dad and stuff. I my dad said she is doing better and that they're turning a corner. So I hope, you know, I took that to be good. I'm waiting to hear from my mom too to see what she says, because she usually gives me a lot of details. So as soon as I hear from her, I will let you know. But that's what's going on with me this week. Everything else is normal, thank goodness. But okay, so I've got a lot of those blueprints to cut out right here. Let's see what else I can cut out and show you, see if there's anything different. Here's a letter that I copied that was in that stack of this was in that stack of papers my son got from under a house. I was telling my brother who lives in Florida, you know, we were talking about crawl spaces, and for some reason, and cause he's in construction, and he was talking about crawl spaces in Florida, and I was like, well, you know, because he was talking about how small they are, and what you have to do to get in a Florida crawl space, and they're usually very small. And whereas in other places like in North Carolina, a lot of the crawl space, I mean, some of the crawl space might be, and some of the crawl spaces here are small, but some of them, especially these days when they build a new house or a newer, you know, if you live in a newer house, the crawl spaces usually are a little bit bigger, or at least most of it. You might have, if it's on a hill, it might be part of it small, but most of it's bigger. So like in our crawl space, you can almost walk in part of it, maybe just tilt your head down a little bit. So that's how crawl spaces are here, because like in Florida, most of the well, when you're talking about the crawl space, some houses don't even have a crawl space, because a lot of the houses are built on, in Florida, are built on concrete slabs. And all of our houses, except for our very first one that we lived in Florida. Cute, right? Isn't that neat? It looks like it's an original envelope, how it's torn over here. I just cut that out around the copy. And so a lot of our original, you know, I could save some of this scrap because I sell my scraps. And this is a really pretty one right here, so I'm going to save this and cut it out with my paper cutter. Like I have a listing in my Etsy shop for dyed scraps, and this is a really pretty one. The rest of them were smaller, probably too small, but this has a good amount on it, and it's so pretty. I just thought of that as I was getting ready to throw it away. Why don't I cut this? See? Isn't that pretty? Pretty scrap. I'm going to save that one for my listing. And this one over here, I'm going to just cut this right off right here. This piece that has a little bit of printing on it that, you know, probably nobody wants that. Oh, I forgot in my purse, I have a list of names I was going to share. I'll share it tonight. I'm going to do a video tonight on an idea that I had this morning. I couldn't believe I thought of something. It might be original, I don't know. It's something, a new idea I had out of, that came from a necessity. A necessity I had this morning. There's some more of these certificates. So I had a necessity this morning, and a crafting necessity. And I've thought of this idea because of that necessity, and I was like, wow, I've never seen anyone do that before. But you know, usually when you think of an idea like that, you usually find like you can search YouTube and find that like 200 other people have already done it, even though you just thought of it, and you've never done it or seen it before. So anyway, I thought of this idea this morning, and then I searched for it on YouTube. I think I found one video that I'm gonna watch to see if it's anything similar, but that was it. One video that could maybe possibly be something to do with what I thought of, but I'm not saying it right now because I want to do a video later tonight when I get home about it, because you know, I think it's such a good idea. Anyway, I think it is, so you know, it deserves its own video. Plus I want to do like a craft with me, and I didn't bring any of the materials with me here today. These are so cute, aren't they? That's that little library certificate where someone went. I have the original where someone got their librarian certificate, and I don't want to cut the wrong place here. They got their librarian certificate, and I copied it. I think I made it in different sizes too. I think this is a smaller one, but it's so cute. So I've got quite a few things cut out right now. I thought I might, so that you guys aren't bored on the lunch and craft here, maybe decorate one of these envelopes. I brought a glue stick here, and this is one definitely needs something on it. And I have my, last week I was saying I didn't have a computer in here, I mean a clock in here. So what I did was, there's a computer in here, an old computer that I turned on, and I'm trying to see, of course it's not working. I thought maybe it would be cool if I could actually get it to turn on and show me the time while I'm recording here on my lunch break, so I know when to stop. But it's got its start screen on, but it won't go any further. And I just hit enter and Control Alt Delete, and it's not doing anything. Not doing a thing. Well, I thought that was a good idea, but it's not working. So I still don't have a clock in here. So I have all of these little die cuts here, and I want to see if I can decorate this envelope. So let's see if we can put some pretty flowers on here and get this decorated. I've got these fall flowers too, which I could use possibly, but all I have is a glue stick here, so I almost forgot it. I almost thought I forgot a glue stick, but then I found that one in my little bag of goodies that I brought with me to work. So there's some cute things in here. Let's see what we can do. Let me see, we can put a lot on here or a little bit on here. What do you think? I like this here. I like the idea of putting that on there. Let's go ahead and go for it. Some decorated envelopes at home, and sometimes I put these in my journals, you know, especially if I can get smaller ones. That's what I really need to get out, is some, I do have some smaller plain envelopes in my stash. I'd like to get some of those out and decorate those, because those can really fit into a pocket if I wanted to just stick it in a pocket with some goodies in it inside of a journal. Or because the bigger ones like this, sometimes I'll just use when I'm sending goodies along with the journal and put extra goodies in here because it's too big to fit inside of a journal. So that's what I do with the bigger ones. Or sometimes I use a couple where I just, let's see, where's that flower? I used a couple where I needed to mail something to a customer and I needed some protection for the item I was mailing, and so I used one of my bigger envelopes like this to put the item inside so it'd be protected during mailing. So I think that's neat, a neat way to use these, because then they get something, like the thing that I put inside the envelope wasn't something I made. It was just something I have, you know, some things I was selling in my shop. So that way they get the item they ordered and they get something handmade also, you know. I think that's kind of fun to try to include something, if I can get it together. Sometimes I don't have time to get that kind of thing together and I just have to mail the item, but if I have time to get it together where I can mail them something handmade along with what they ordered, then I try to do that. And usually I do that, just sometimes it's, you know, sometimes you just do what you can do, you know. Especially when you're busy. So here we have it so far. Looks like I might need some little clamp on here, or I'll see how this glues. I don't think I have any paper clips right here where I could hold that flower down. Let me see. No paper clips, but I think it's adhering pretty good. That's what we've got so far. I think it needs something over here though. Let's see what else we have. We have a picture. We have a flower with a butterfly, possibly. I have some, I don't have any lace or anything like that here. I have this cute kitty cat I brought with me. He's just a cutout from a magazine. Isn't he cute? And let's see what else. Here's a big butterfly. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Does he need something behind him? Maybe not. Let's go ahead and glue him down. Unless I have a little heart here. No, it's too much, too many words together. Okay, I'm going to glue this butterfly down. I like that. And I might call this one done after that. I don't have anything else here that I can really put on here except baker's twine and leaves. This extra glue will dry on here so you won't even see it after it's dry. I think that looks pretty. I like it. I could do a little just dressing around the edges of this flower when I get home to take away some of the white edges. I think that's really pretty. This says enjoy. And it's got a pretty butterfly on there. So I'm going to put that one to the side. Let's try another big one here because I want to try something on this big one right here. I want to try this big bird cage. I'll have to cut it off though. I think it's really pretty, but it's big. And you're probably saying, let me guess, you're saying don't cut it. Maybe, and I'm not sure. But I'm cutting it because it's too big. So, and and I'll see if I can use the pieces somewhere else. How about if I cut it at a place that makes sense, where I could use like this top piece right here? I'll cut it right there so it looks like it's supposed to be that way. And then I cut this right here so I can use a little stand somewhere else. And then this will be like this on here. I think that's neat. So I'm going to glue that down, I think. Make sure I don't want anything under it. I might want something over it, but not under it. Got a few flowers here, but they're not the right color. So that doesn't look right. That would be cool if it did look right, maybe. To have it under and over like that. But it's not the right color. I have some circles here from a magazine. They're that same color. They're different colors though. This one has some pink on it. Let's see how that looks. It doesn't have enough color right here though. I don't like how plain it is right there. I really have it for this side. And this side is not what I cut it out for. I cut it out for the little paw prints. Let's see if I have anything else. Just want to make sure I don't have anything to put under this. I have this pig piece here that I already cut pieces out of. That'll be too much pink on this envelope. So let me go ahead and put this down, and then we'll try some other pieces. So last week I crafted on 3 lunch breaks, and the other 2 I think I had things to do. This week this is the first day I've crafted on my lunch break. Yesterday was dental related time out of the office, and then Monday was post office. I had to go to the post office, and then I came back and I had forgot my lunch. I bring my lunch every day, and I walked out of the house with no food yesterday. I bring my breakfast and lunch actually to the office, and so I have my breakfast when I get here from home. I bring it from home, and I have my breakfast when I get here, and I have my lunch, you know, at lunchtime. But yesterday I walked out of the office and I got here and I was like, what in the world? I forgot all of my food. I mean, everything, no food at all. So at lunchtime, let's see, what did I have when I got here? I had a pack of these crackers is what I had when I got here, because someone else in the office brought those and left them here for everybody to eat up. So I had a pack of those crackers for breakfast Monday, and then for lunch I was talking to my co-worker, and I was like, I forgot all my food today. So whenever I say that to her, she's so funny. She's like, you want to order something? I was like, okay. And she's like, well, what do you want to get? And I don't know why she asked me, because I always, whenever I order something, usually when I order something, it's always the same thing. And I said, you know what I want to get? She's like, you want to get pizza? Because we don't order it very much, you know. I really don't have pizza that much, I would say. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we ordered pizza from our currently favorite spot. Our mellow mushroom closed. Do y'all have mellow mushroom? Our mellow mushroom closed. Like, we thought it was really super popular. I mean, I think it was always crowded. I don't know what happened, because all of a sudden it's closed. I had no idea. And when I went to Florida, I noticed my parents' mellow mushroom is closed too in Florida, because that was probably one of our favorite spots, pizza spots, and it's closed. We couldn't believe it. So anyway, our new favorite spot we got pizza from, and I don't think it's a chain. It's called I can't even hardly say it. Cugino Forno. I think something like that. Cugino or Cugino Forno. And they get all their ingredients from like Italy and things like that. So very cool and very good pizza. If you have one, I don't know, it might be the one and only Cugino Forno. But it's, you know, just really, really super good pizza. So it was a nice treat. I like this, but I don't know. It needs, I mean, this needs something, of course, to go with it. So what do I need? I need some butterflies and flowers, I think, over here. Here's a pretty flower. Goes along with the pink. A big butterfly, but its colors are a little different. Or I could have two flowers, or a bigger flower. Here's a bigger flower. I'll put it down here. I've been wanting to decorate these. I've been itching to get to decorate these envelopes. I wanted to see what they look like with things put on them. Here's a pretty butterfly that would go with this flower really good. And so that's why I just kind of like at the last minute I threw them in my bag, and thought I would bring them with. I think that's pretty, but I don't know if I want it on this envelope. I think I might want that on another envelope. This right here. Or, yeah, I think I like that butterfly. Let's try a green butterfly. That's pretty too with the green leaves. I'm gonna put a little heart maybe on here. That's kind of pretty. This says "You are wonderful" right here. Trying not to cut off the words. I think that's nice. I'm gonna glue that down, or try to. So if y'all are watching, and I wanted to mention that for everybody that's watching, that Maria and I will be doing our Saturday morning live crafting session. We're both going to announce it on our channels, and it's on her channel at 7:30 on Saturday mornings. We've been trying to do it every Saturday that we're both home. So like last two Saturdays I was in Florida, so couldn't do it. The last two last Saturday we did it, and then the 2 Saturdays before that we couldn't do it because I was in Florida. So I had my stuff where I could have done it, but I just didn't have a space where that was really good, and you know, where I could just do a video like that, a live crafting video, and you know, be away from the crowd. Not that there was a crowd there, but you know, you just kind of need a certain space to do a live. I do anyway. Need a quiet space where you know you're not going to be interrupted. That's what I like anyway. I know other people can do it with everything around them, but like Maria does. Right, Maria? The thing about I like about Maria's videos is they're real. You know what I mean? Mine are real too, but hers are really real. You know what I'm saying? Pretty, right? I like that. The little heart there. Now you can see the words. Okay, so what did I get done so far today? 2 envelopes. And the things I cut out here so far. So what else could I do? And I could cut this out. The tag. Let me move this stuff over to the side and do a few of these. Y'all don't get bored of me doing the same thing. And I hope you're, like I could do these at a certain time, these little luncheon crafts, so y'all can plan. Like same day, same time type of thing. I use up my little scrap strings here first. I could try to do it on the same day, same time every week, but like my lunch break isn't, it's just whenever there's just two of us that go out to lunch or take a lunch break, and we take turns. So one of us goes and one of us stays, and then the other one goes, so that someone's always here in the office to answer the phone and things like that. So we just go whenever we want, as far as we don't have to go at 12. We can go at 12, we can go at 12:30, we can go at 1, we can go at 1:45, we can go at 1:30. It doesn't really matter. Just whenever it's convenient is when we go. So that's why I'm having trouble, like if I were to try to schedule this at a certain time. But it's recorded. It would be cool to do it live, but it's recorded so y'all can turn it on once I do it. You can turn it on your lunch break and then craft with me. So I don't know. If y'all have any ideas, let me know about that. But tonight I'll do that video on my new idea. So you can look for that tonight whenever I get around to doing that. I don't know what time it would be that I would do it, but no certain time, just sometime tonight when I have time. And string is white. I don't know what this is from, because I don't use white string. I have no idea what this is from. You know what this is from? Probably sometimes this might be from like clothing, where I kept the string from a tag or something, because I don't really have any white string. So that's an idea to share, like when you have tags from your clothing tags, like price tags, if you have a string, you can keep it and use it. Or where else did you know the little strings that you get on like a dress that are supposed to help you keep it on the hanger? Those little strings I always cut off because they're in the way, they hang out and stuff. So as soon as I get it, as soon as I get a dress, if it has those little, sometimes they're like a little ribbon, if they have those on it, I just immediately cut them off. And so the other day I was cutting some off. I was like, that's like a little ribbon, and I kept it, because I thought I could use it in my crafting. I thought that was a good idea to repurpose those little ribbons. This is really long. I need to cut this in three pieces. This is a long scrap ribbon, or scrap baker's twine. I think it was from binding though, and I cut off way too much, as you can see. But this is orange and white. It's really pretty. So I'm going to put it on this. This is kind of it has a little orangey tint to it, maybe. No, that kind of clashes. Let me put it on something else. Here's a piece of Edith Holden scrap that I made into a tag. So I can't wait to develop this idea I had this morning. I brought it to work and used it because I told you it was out of necessity. I'll give you a clue. You can guess what it was. See if you can guess what I did. You won't be able to, because I'm not going to give you enough clues to guess, but it was something I needed. I was mailing an order out to a customer, something I needed out of necessity for the order, and I had one that I wanted to use, and I have it in my very organized drawer of the same type of items, but I couldn't find it. I know it's in there, but it must be buried under it. Maybe it got pushed down under something, and I didn't want to take time to because I looked through everything twice and I couldn't find it, so I didn't want to take everything out because I needed to get ready for work. I didn't want to take everything out of the drawer and try to find it. So I said, okay, what else can I use? I need a certain type of something. I can't tell you too much or you'll know. I need a certain type of something, material, you know, that I need for this certain thing that I needed. And I couldn't find it. So I looked around and I found something. I thought, I wonder if I can just zip one of these to get things that I needed together real quick. And, you know, out of something else. And I looked around and I found something else. And I did that. I zipped it together. And I was like, wow, that might be a new idea. That might actually, I might have actually thought of something original. You know what I said, you think of something original, you think you thought of something original, then you find out 200 people did it already. So anyway, yeah, that's, I guess, all the clues I can really give you. Let me see here. I would like to do a few more of these tags because I have a lot to put strings in here, and I would like to get that done this week. I think this is a new baker's twine thing here. Okay, so I got it going. Sometimes these are hard to find the end, but that one was easy, thank goodness. And some videoing. If you hear hammering, I told you, I mentioned in my last crafting video that they're building a building right next to ours. And it's 6 stories high. Our building is 3 stories. The building next to us is 6 stories. No, not that tall, I know, but tall enough. And pretty cool watching it being built because every day I look out the window and see, you know, what are they doing today? What are they doing today? And I watched it from the ground up. So it's kind of, you know, you see buildings being built that maybe you drive by every day. But to actually see one right next to you where you can stand still and look out of a window and see exactly, like really close up what they're doing. It's been pretty cool. You know, I mean, yeah, it's a little noisy at times, but it's been really neat, like, to see how they build a building. Like, this one has a basement, and at first I didn't even realize it was a basement. I thought it was the first floor because it didn't look like it was under the ground. But then they brought in dirt and stuff and made it underground. You know what I mean? So it was like, well, wow, that's how they make a basement sometimes, I guess. It's not actually a hole in the ground. They actually put ground around it. So it's been really neat to watch everything. So now they've got it 6 stories up. They're putting like the siding, well, not the siding, they're putting insulation on the outside, and they've got windows in, so you can see it's really coming. I mean, they've been building it since the beginning of, I'm trying to think if it's spring or not summer. They've been building it for quite a while now, and so it's got to have the inside worked on, and whatever the finishing is on the outside, and then, you know, but you know, on the inside, if you've ever built a house, you know, the outside can look like it's almost done, but then they've got 10,000 things to do on the inside. So yeah, oops, I shook the camera. If you saw a shake, that was me shaking the camera. Okay, so I probably need to finish up. I kind of have a pretty good internal clock, so I can kind of tell, like, I probably have been here for about an hour now, for my lunch hour. I didn't go walk today. I just was anxious to get in here because I brought this stuff to work with me on Monday, and I hadn't got to work on it until today because I didn't realize Monday I was going to forget my lunch and all the rest of my food. So I was just, sometimes I'm just intent on getting out the door, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I got everything. I'm leaving on time. Like I had an order or something, and I had my purse, I had my phone, had everything. But then I didn't have everything. So, okay, I'm gonna do 2 more strings and say then I'm gonna sign off for this lunchtime. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't know if I should do these every day or just once a week, like once last week, and probably just once a week because y'all probably get sick of me if I try to do this every day. So, but you know, and then I can't, you know, sometimes I can't do it every day. So, but I've gotten a lot done in just 1 hour. I'll show you one more time in just a second. Everything I got done. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be putting these away. I'll clean up after I hang up with you guys. But here's all the tags I just put strings in just now. So these are, you know, I can decorate these further at home if I want, but it can be ready to go like this if I want. I mean, isn't this cute? Little Daphne's Diary tag. And just that little string adds a lot. So all of these cutie pies are ready to go home with me. And then all of our envelopes that we did today. We did, what, 2? We decorated these 2. And we cut out all our papers that I already showed you. I've got the tag, 1 tag to go home with me. Or I might leave it here and put it on cardstock tomorrow. This certificate, envelope, I cut out, quotation sheet, and all my blueprints. Cut out quite a few of those. So, I wonder if I should sell these in my shop, because these are so cool, you know? I might do that, put some of these in my shop. So, anyway, I will see y'all next time. Have a great week and happy crafting. And I'll see you tonight with that other video about the new idea. You're probably gonna be like, really, Sherry? That's it? Anyway, see y'all later. Bye.